Hey, welcome back, chaps. How you doing?
Hey, how are you guys? Good to see you. Welcome back. Feels like we've been gone forever.
Yeah, it's only been
Good
a
to see
couple
you,
of
Flake.
days.
Yeah, it's been a couple days.
Before we get started with another episode of TSP here, today we have special guest Lori, and she's going to talk about some projects she's working on. Before we get to her, I got some exciting news about the
Uh-oh.
cookbook that I've been writing on. So it's finally done. It's 100%
Yay!
done. It's at the publisher. The publisher sent me back some edit tips, and I kicked those out and I sent it back. So hopefully next week it will be printed at
Hell
the
yeah.
print shop.
Good.
I want some like
So,
real recipes, like the food
Oh,
yeah.
you'll get it.
sent to me.
So
Squidly likes to cook. You'll get it.
yeah. So I have many projects. I have two podcasts. I have this one. I have the Nosebleeds Report, where me and my friends just talk sports. And then I've also been working on a cookbook where it's like it's not in cookbook that you've ever seen in your life. So it's recipes, yeah. So it's mostly outdoor cooking.
And it has
What I
quotes in
did,
it, right?
pardon?
And it has quotes in it.
Yes, it has
Oh,
quotes
yeah.
from the last we've been doing this almost 2 years. July 4th will be 2 years. And so what I did, I went and extracted some really cool quotes from our guests and interjected them throughout the recipes. And it turned out
That is
really,
cool.
really good.
It's gonna be selling like hotcakes.
I heard it's going to be New York Times bestseller.
I hope so. It was when I
It's
go
gonna
back and I read
outsell
over
Paulie's
it.
book any day of the week. Sorry, Paulie. He's definitely gonna outsell you, dude. Sorry, Chief.
Some of the quotes when I put them in there, it got me really emotional, man. Some of them are very powerful. So look for that here in the next
I
week or
wonder
two.
if you didn't take a quote from me, did you?
I don't know, man. We're gonna have to see.
Damn it! I gotta buy the book. I gotta buy the book.
He's smart. He's smart. He knows everybody's going to have to buy the book now to see whether they're in it. It was pretty
It's
smart
okay.
marketing.
That's
Yeah.
okay. But
Yeah.
Fleek's got another idea coming up, right?
Yeah, so as soon as that book comes out and it's published, I'm probably going to take about a week off, and then I'm going to get right back in it. The Cooking with Squidly Part 2 features the Farr brothers. So Combat Chaps here, he has a brother that lost his life to battle with cancer when he was 32 years old.
32, yeah.
Yeah,
Stage
so
4 colon cancer.
he was an accomplished chef, and Andrew here has 4 binders of his recipes. And when I
I
say
gave him,
binders, I'm talking each binder is like this.
Wow.
I mean, and
Four of them.
they've got entrees, they've got sous vide stuff. I mean, it desserts, everything. And I'm like, here, just take it, Fleek, and we're gonna go work on some
Wow.
recipes. And my mom is gonna be very. My mom doesn't know about this, and I can say this because my mom would never in her life watch this because she is not very
I'm just going to
technologically
say, what if your
savvy at
mom
all.
watches this?
Not at all. No, my mom would never watch a podcast in her life.
Okay.
And so I'm safe. I can say whatever I want, and she won't ground me. But yes, mom is going to be very surprised. And Fleek, past Commander Fleek, has when he said this, I cried my eyes out when I heard what he was doing.
Yeah,
I think it's a great honor, and even what Fleek's doing with this podcast is we're getting the stories of our veterans, but we're also getting, like with you, you're not our only non-veteran on the show. You are a huge supporter of veterans. I've seen your work in action in Asheville, North Carolina, and it's interesting. I love it. I love what you do, and we need to get you at every single VFW conference in, like, if Tim Borland, if you're watching this, sir, Commander in Chief, sir, talk to Lori, please. Talk to her.
He tried to get me to the national convention. So
hey, listen, Brian Walker, Dan West, got to go talk to her. All right, get her in Phoenix. Get her. I'm not going. She can take my place. There you go. I give you permission. Just kidding. Yeah, Brian's gonna kill me for saying that. That's okay.
So, Lori, before we get started, I found a YouTube video.
Uh-oh.
It's like a minute long. Do you know? Is it all right if I play it?
Oh yeah, is it the Lexi one? Oh.
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
Wow. Powerful.
Yes.
That's
So,
powerful.
so our guest today is Lori with the Tree of Valor.
Yes.
How you doing,
Now, Lori.
Lori?
Hi, guys. Thank you. Thank
Would
you
you like
for
to
that.
would you like to introduce yourself to our followers?
Yes. My name is Lori Egerter, and I am the founder of the Tree of Valor. It's a nonprofit where our real only goal is never forgetting the sacrifice. That sacrifice does come, as you two personally know, in many forms. It can be of body, mind, soul. You know, it can be in comrade. It can be in spouse. It comes in many different forms. Hence, the 22 a day shirt. Um, it's it comes in a lot of different ways. So we nobody likes to be forgotten. You know, there's an old saying: we all die two deaths. One is when you die, and one is when your name stops being spoken. So our goal is by putting your faces on these trees, the people will keep talking about you. So um, Brigadier General J.R. Gorham has said at an event that we were at that there's just nothing more powerful than a picture. And it's true because if you think about all the different memorials, it's always about the name, right? It's always about people's names. So I love going to those events where you see the name. And I've been to some of them where my trees were invited and people would go, and let's say it was the Vietnam Wall, right? They would go and they would find their person on the wall, and then they walk over to the trees and then they find a face on a tree. I mean, it's just really, yeah, puts a period at the end of the sentence. Like it really does.
How did you get started in this?
So my son is slash was a Marine. You know, you're never
Hoorah.
right. And so when he was serving, that's right.
Man, stop with the Navy thing, man. Damn. Tell the
You know,
story.
maybe he's a Navy corpsman. You know, Navy corpsmen are like Marines. I
Okay,
mean,
docs are good. Hey, yeah, docs are
okay,
fine.
so we'll give him that. Maybe he's a Navy corpsman.
He's not a
No, I'm
corpsman, though.
not.
He's a yeoman.
Yeoman.
Oh, okay. We still love you though. But while he was gone, I would see. I wanted him to just know how proud I was of him, and I like to do things different, and I just yeah wasn't sure what I was going to do, and I ended up collecting just all the pictures I could find of our family and our friends who had served. And we made them into these wooden mementos, and all of a sudden we realized he said, "Hey, I'm about to be deployed." So you know how they let you come home before you're deployed, and it was October. We glammed the house out for Christmas because he loved Christmas. I didn't care. I didn't care what anybody said. Inside, outside, we glammed that place out. And he came home a day early, and someone had actually given us an artificial tree because obviously you're not going to get a tree in October, right? So I didn't get to decorate it because he came home a day early, and he didn't want to decorate it because it kind of made him sad. And I didn't want to decorate it even after he left. I was sad, but, here's my daughter, Lexi, she's little. She's looking at me like, "Mom, here I got a naked tree," right? So I realized all these wooden mementos that were all over the dining room table, which he loved. He loved the idea of it. I'm like, that's going to be our Christmas tree this year. And it was the most beautiful Christmas tree we've ever had. And so when Christmas was over, I was like, shoot, I don't got to take this down. This tree is not real. And it was right after that that he sent me my favorite picture of all time, which is a picture of him and his brothers in Okinawa. I don't know if the sun's rising or setting, but it's a beautiful picture. They're filthy. I call it work covered faces. And it said family at the bottom of it. And I realized at that very moment that my search for family took on a whole new meaning because he really, and I'm sure you guys would say this, civilians don't understand the family that you have. Not that we don't respect it, but we don't have the honor of having such a family like that. So every day, strange or not, every day, God just kept giving us a picture from somewhere, somebody. We just kept collecting them. And by Halloween of that year, my little girl, who's actually going to come out at some point, she wanted to be Miss America the Beautiful because she loved, anything patriotic. Her daddy's been taking her to baseball games and having her watch baseball, and she's a baseball freak. And it ended up that she had this red sparkly dress on. She wanted to give out flags to every house where there was a veteran. And she wanted to have her friends help her sing the national anthem. Now, mind you, she doesn't walk and she doesn't talk. So when you see somebody glowing when they hear the national anthem, trying desperately to sing it, it's just a powerful thing. Because you can bribe typical children, you can't bribe special needs children. Like, it doesn't work.
Oh, so
Like,
your daughter's special needs?
yeah.
I didn't realize that when we were talking earlier.
Yeah, there's an absolutely amazing link that shows her feelings, uh, um, her response, I'll say, to her brother coming home from deployment. And she was bawling / crying, but it was so powerful between TikTok, Facebook, it had like 10 million views.
Wow.
People, it literally just blew up because it was so raw. It was really so raw. And so it turned out that her work with veterans, even at such a young age, is so incredible. So that picture you saw, that giant tree, in that
Yeah.
video, was of the Texas Roadhouse in Salisbury, North Carolina. And they saw how she was going to all these different, events in Rowan County. And they heard about this 12-foot tree that we call it her tree. And it was donated by the Richard Childress Racing Team. So they requested this tree from Veterans Day through Christmas. And we covered it in just the photos from Rowan County from like that one year, many of which her little face is in it, because sometimes, people ask for the trees to come to an event. Sometimes they just ask for her to come because that love she has for you is so genuine. It's barely understandable. But I think, it's because when her brother, was deployed, and he was like her best friend. She just missed him so terribly that it's like, as she would be searching for veterans, she was looking for him. And so to this
That's
day,
heartwarming.
just a couple weeks ago, she got 40 cases, not boxes, cases of Girl Scout cookies, 100
Wow.
stars from flag retirements, 100 sweet, what are they called, Smarties lollipops, because they know she will go out and she will give these out to veterans.
If she needs stars, I've got tons in my garage. I've got flags that need to be taken care of. If she wants them, she can have all of them. I've got
But
like 40 flags in my garage.
she is she's just, her passion for this project is over the top. And
Where is
so
she? Is she coming out? We need to see her.
Yeah, so she's really something out. I'm texting her nurse right now. But it's completely genuine. So it ended up that she wanted to hand out these flags for Halloween. So she did that. And we were so taken by people's reaction to that she wanted to go out on Veterans Day, meet more veterans. We did that. Then we decided, you know what? We've got like 300 and some pictures because we'd be getting a picture every day. And we went to the city of Greensboro and asked them if we could take the pictures and put them up on trees for their Light the Night event they had for every Christmas. And I mean, a lot of these things I'm learning as I go. There's a huge learning curve in this, but you have to ask 15 committees and 25 people to get someone to say yes, right? But they just said yes. So they said I should pick, one thing I wanted to do. That one thing turned into 3. It ended up that it turned into 3. We did the entire cultural arts center in Greensboro. All the trees they had up, we put pictures on them, and but then COVID came right after that, and so we decided that we were going to take all the pictures we had collected and turn them into little tiny pictures and put them on little tiny trees. So my house was like exploded with these trees everywhere. But as soon as, we were allowed to get them out and get them back on big trees, we did. And that same summer then is when I feel like we took a real turn, because it was the summer of 2020 that my son called me to tell me. He just said, "Mom, I wanted you to know it wasn't me, but I'm going to look for them." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" Here, it was all over the news there, but not here, that the tank, the AAV, had gone down into the ocean.
Yeah.
And 9 of the boys were lost. So he thought, "Oh my God, my mom's probably freaking out," right? And so I'm glad I didn't know. But I, from that moment on, realized. So I made them a memorial tree. I'm great friends with many of those moms now. But I realized at that moment that that could have just as easily been my child. And you don't, it would be disrespectful to take that for granted, because it's what I owe their parents, is how I look at it. And then that one memorial tree turned to many, many, many more. So,
Well, Lori, I've got an idea for a tree, a 3/8 tree, for Iraq, for our our guys that didn't come back from Iraq and Afghanistan, and I've got all their pictures, and I would love to get with you to make a 3/8 India Company tree,
that would
or
be
3/8 our 3rd Battalion 8th Marine tree, because we've got probably about 26. That I think it would make a beautiful tree, and lots of honor to those fallen Marines.
Well, we would be honored to do that. And so what we're trying to do also is, so we take the fallen and we put them on white trees, so that one room you saw where everything was white, all the trees were white. That's called the remembrance place. But one of our goals that we have not yet done is, I guess we've done it a little bit, but we want to take those same service members and put them back in the family with you, and all of you that did come home, put all of you on a tree, because all of this at this point is a springboard for the Tree of Valor Veterans Conservatory.
Man, yeah, okay.
So when I say,
this is a good project.
When I say conservatory, people are like, "Well, why a conservatory?" It's because these trees that we're using now are artificial, because you can't take real live trees into businesses. So the real trees, the trees in the conservatory, will be real trees of different heights. And once they reach a certain height, then those are going to be the trees that we send overseas to the troops at Christmas time, which I didn't realize that that's what happened, but that's what apparently happens. Tree companies send. So I actually know a man named Steve Sorrell. He is a Vietnam veteran with 7 Purple Hearts.
Holy man.
Amazing man, amazing. And Steve actually, yes. And what did he say? What's he say? He says, I was slow that day. Oh my gosh. What? Yeah, he acts like it was nothing, right? That he's very humble. He's a beautiful person. But he actually owns a tree farm. So he is going, so I said to him, "So is this a crazy idea, to do these pictures on trees?" I figured a Purple Heart, someone with 7 Purple Hearts, if you really want to get to the heart of it, you want to ask somebody who really knows.
Has some skin in the game.
That's right. He said, "I can't think of a better place to place pictures than a Christmas tree. So he's actually waiting for me to call him.
There she
comes.
is.
Here she comes.
Oh, hey.
Yeah. Hey, Lex, come on over here. Can you fit? Yeah, right in here. She's very excited. So Lex, Mom has speakers on. So I'm going to put the speakers on you so that you can hear. Would you like that? Would you like to be able to hear? Yeah. Yeah.
Look at that face.
Yeah. I don't know if you can see all her like red, white, and blue, but she is like totally glammed out. She really
Yes.
is. So she did so much with this veteran project that the Red Cross chose her as a civilian hero last September. And she is covered. I wish I would have got it ready, but I didn't. She has this giant, well, you've seen it, Andy, giant sash full.
Yeah. I remember the
she's
sash.
so
Yeah, of course.
proud of it. Yeah, she's so proud of it. Okay, Lex, Mommy's gonna put I don't even understand how she even knows what this is, but she's very excited about it. So this is also
so happy.
She is. This is Miss Val. Miss Val is our Army
Hello.
veteran.
I'm Miss Val.
Yeah, so I'm gonna put this. Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna put this on you, Lex, so you can hear. Okay.
Fleek, seriously, really? Come on, man. Yes, we know your Navy, sir. CVN 70. Carl Vincent. Hoorah.
Hi, Lex.
Hi, Lex.
Oh,
Okay, can you hear anything?
no. Oh, man, I wish I had that national anthem to play for.
I know. Hi, Lex.
Hi, Lexi. Hello. She's pretty excited.
Yeah, she is. Okay, bye, Lex.
Bye.
Bye. Wow, she's awesome.
That was a new experience for her. Yeah.
She's so excited.
She's so proud of. I mean, she's truly like the most patriotic little most patriotic little person ever. And she's proud of it, you know?
Yeah.
She should be.
Yes, definitely.
That's
you
awesome.
know, she
and
really
she's
is.
gonna be she's gonna be in Nashville. I'm very excited.
Want to go to Nashville, Lexi?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She does. Yeah,
Yes,
that's right.
Yes, because she loves music, so she probably would. She probably would love to go to Nashville.
She's gonna get plenty of music in Nashville. We got tons of it, especially in our VFW post.
Yeah.
And Miss Val said Army is #1. So.
Hey, watch
it. Excuse me.
Like third.
Definitely. That's like the third best. The third best branch.
They said third best. That's what they said.
What was her? Ask her. What was her MOS?
She was a combat medic.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
We'll give it to her. We'll give it to her then.
No, medics are good. Medics are good.
Tell her thank you for us.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Yes.
Wow.
So yes.
Hey, where's and Miss Lori? And did you actually? This is a big question. Did you go to your son's graduation?
There is not a parent in the world that should ever miss that.
Yeah, I know, right?
It was literally the best day, like one of the best days of
my
my life.
He went to Paris Island, correct?
Yeah.
Sand
What battalion?
Yeah. He just it was the very Charlie company, and he's like, Mom, it was the last one.
He was. Oh, you guys were wearing red because he was 1st battalion.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Suckers.
Yes.
Tip of the spear, those guys. Sorry, I was 2nd battalion. You can tell him that I was 2nd Fox Company 2081.
Yeah, he's like, that's the last real. Yeah.
What year was he at? Did he graduate?
Oh my gosh. That's where I get to show my age.
Yeah.
I want to say 2017. I want to say
2017.
17. I think so.
He's a boot.
I was gonna say
Boot.
finally, Chaps is not a boot.
Boot. Yeah, call him a boot. He's a boot.
2017. 2017.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I think
went
that's
in
right.
2000.
Yeah,
Lori,
yeah, that's right.
I went in 2004.
Wow.
A long time
Well,
ago.
hey,
Oh.
easy there, fella. I went in
I
1985.
know, but I'm a boot to you, Fleek. I'm a boot to you. I mean, come on. But
Yeah.
Lori, I'm glad. I'm glad you're doing all this. This is amazing stuff, and I will definitely get you all those numbers because I definitely want to see the trees of Valor at the Southern Conference Convention, at the Eastern Conference Convention, the Big Ten Conference, and the Western Conference. And I think it's an amazing thing you're doing. I'm beside myself. I don't even have the words for
and
this.
we just really want people to understand that our goal is to not let people be forgotten, and the veterans, their families, but people really, until you like really see the trees, it's hard to completely, and Val says this a lot, it's hard for people to appreciate exactly what we're doing. But there's people who have never seen the trees, who have seen their children on the trees. And one of the moms just a few weeks ago, excuse me, said to me, her son had taken his life, and then she tried to take her life twice. And she realized when we were talking about how we met just online, she realized right at that moment when I told her when it was, she said, "Oh my God." She said, "It's when I saw that somebody remembered my son and I saw him on your trees, that's when my healing began."
Oh my gosh, that's
So
amazing.
people don't realize, like, what just seems like a Christmas tree, there's another mom, same thing, same
Yeah.
exact thing.
Well, it's
There's a lot of moms actually that tell me that, but
that's amazing.
How many
And
trees do
the
you think you
same.
have?
we have about 160 trees from 12
Oh,
inches from 12
wow.
inches to 12 feet. And we have, last year we took them to like 10 different counties. Was it 10, 9 or 10 different counties last year? Our goal was to go to every single county in North Carolina. That's what I thought the goal was. And then God let me know that I wasn't really in charge of the project, and that He was in charge.
Good.
And so He said,
He
"I'm going
does
to tell
that.
you where we're going to go." So I would be completely remiss if I did not tell you the story that just happened,
Okay.
because as far as writing books, my heart is that of an author for sure. And Val fusses me, and my husband fusses me constantly. Why haven't you written a book? Blah blah blah. Right. So I get it published. I've already written the books. I just don't get it published. Right. So it ended up that I've said yes to taking these trees places that I had no way to get there. Right. I had no clue how I was going to get there. And I thought, well, if God asked me to go, I'm just going to say yes. Yes, Phoenix was one of them. And it turned out that now it's getting really close, right? We're supposed to go to Jersey in like 2 weeks or whatever. I'm like, oh my God, I'm starting to sweat now. I'm like, okay, God, like if you plan this, you better show your face soon, because I don't, am I going to rent a U-Haul? Like, what am I doing? Right. So it ended up that a trucking company, at our last event, took our trees up to the event, right? And while we were, but then they said, we can't come pick you up until days later, right? Well, after it's over. So I put out my little donation jar that I scream and yell about. I hate it. And Val's like, "Lori, if you're going to have a museum someday, you're going to have to ask for a lot more than what goes in a jar. So you better get over it." Right.
True.
So it ended up that this guy comes up, and wasn't a lot of attendance. And I was, a little bit disappointed because we drove like 3 hours to go to this event, set up all this stuff. And I was like, so I looked up in the sky and I said, "God, why did you send me? Why did you send me here? Why did you have me come to this?" The next thing I know, I look up, boom, 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 boom. Here comes this barreling guy coming towards me down this path. He looks at the trees. He loves them. He takes all the money he has out of his wallet, puts it in this jar. Then he sees the picture of Lexi and wants to hear part of that story. goes on PayPal, boom, he makes another donation, right? And I was just like so flabbergasted by this. So I go to find him later because I know he's still there. Here, he's law enforcement. Shout out to law enforcement. Everybody gives him a bad time, but this is law
Don't say his
enforcement that did
name
this.
because
I,
he wants to keep it quiet.
oh no, that guy, this guy, he's all good with it, right? He has a foundation.
Oh, he is? Okay. Sorry.
Yes,
You told me a story
it's called
the other day.
It's called the Rewritten Story Foundation. Freaking stellar individuals. Okay. So I find him later on in the day, and I said, listen, I want you to see this video. I want you about Lexi, so you can see the heart behind the project. He doesn't even get through the whole video, and he's bawling. He says, and I had told him previously, I'm like, I need to find a trailer. Like, I was just shooting the shit. Like, I didn't, I don't know this guy, right? So he sees this and he says to me, I'll be back. He comes back and he says, your trailer will be here in 15 minutes.
Oh, man.
He gave us a friggin' trailer, right? He called one of his friends who's also in law enforcement who was selling it. He drives it over. This was like, you needed to call Noah and build an ark for the amount of crying that went on. Because when I say I desperately needed this, I desperately, and he had talked about it, right? Like, because this was beside this place called the Weldon Distillery, owned by a veteran named Bruce. And Bruce was like, listen, this is a good guy. But I thought, I don't know. People tell you stuff all the time. They're going to do this or that. But, but for somebody who's known you for like less than a day, you cannot give credit to anyone but God for that.
Yeah. Amen.
You just can't. You really can't. So they literally have gone to, enclosed trailer, of course. Val said, make sure you say enclosed trailer. But they've gone to Kentucky for the tornadoes, Florida for the hurricanes, Ohio with water. Right now they're making beds for all the kids in their community. So,
wow. I
mean, but for them to, he said, we fulfill needs. That's what we do. So God is like in charge of the project, and I know that. And so the other things that we are desperately in need of, I'm certain he will, he will come through like he always does. But when we take these trees from place to place, I need to be better at like social media, but I'm just like one person, right? My boots are on the ground. They're not typically in front of the computer, which is a shame because the parents really do want to see where their kids went. And some of them, like we call it, we're on deployment, right? Your kids were deployed here, deployed there. And for some of them, they've had to tell themselves that that's where their children are, that they're deployed, because they cannot accept it. It's so painful for them that it feels better to just think he's deployed or she's deployed. Right. So then when someone's saying, hey, these are your son's orders, he's going to Nebraska, right? Hero stock, I want to go. But,
hey, I'll be at Hero
I got
stock.
A trailer now, so maybe I can go.
Yeah, I want to go.
You're Jason, you're going to Jason's thing?
I got to call him now that I got a trailer.
All right, good to go.
Yeah.
Fleek, you going?
When is it?
September 9th.
No, I have a daughter getting married September 2nd, so I'll be busy.
I've got to do the wedding. I'm gonna marry your daughter, and then I'm out.
So
to Nebraska, because I haven't been back to Nebraska since 2019. So this will be fun.
So I guess my point is that we really we're doing different. Our trees mean different things to different people, right? So we have veterans who, would take the trees and we'll park them in a window, right? We look for those businesses in little towns or cities where there's nothing, right? There's nothing. And we find out who owns them, and God willing, they'll let us park the trees in there. Salisbury, North Carolina, they loved the trees. They left them in there for, oh my gosh, a year.
Were they on like consignment and then you just go back and pick them up?
Well, they're not even really, they're not even businesses. They didn't used to be. These were empty windows that nobody, store owners that were just like trying to rent their building, or just there's a lot of people that, I mean, I'm from the north and I don't see this as much up there, but in the south there's a lot of empty spaces that people, just let the business do whatever it does, like it wants to,
Mm.
when they're not using it, the window just sits there. So I'm looking for those windows because it adds like a whole different, you know, feel to the town. And then we just had this new town, this town do something new for us called Paint the Town Red, White, and Blue. It's Reedsville, North Carolina. There's this store.
Reedsville. I know where that is.
Yeah, so one of the store owners, she owns Reedsville Trading Post. She said, "I want a tree," right? So we gave her a tree, and the next thing I know, she's president of the Merchant Association in her town. She's talking to everyone. Now, if you go to Reedsville, you will see, I think it's 15, it's up to 15 businesses in that town have a Tree of Valor in their store.
Wow.
It is absolutely, I mean, so they're going to leave them there from May through July. Some of them actually want to keep them longer, but it's just beautiful, right? Like that's
Oh man,
just
I got some ideas just like going in my head right now. Like what we
so,
need.
yeah, but it's a great way for a town to show its patriotism, you know? Um, and it's just a beautiful thing because you could do it in a town, you could do it in a city, so it just was something that we really embraced. And I mean, there was definitely, I felt bad for them because it was a learning curve. We hadn't done it like that before. So I would probably do it a little bit different in the next town. Like every business get your own tree. I'll bring the pictures, right? Businesses have their own trees. So I would do that different next time. But our family forest, I have to talk about that. All right, it's called America's Family Tree Forest. And it is like there's the only thing like it, I swear, in like the whole world. It's where we take everybody, let's say Andy and your family who served. I don't care how far back it was, right? I take all of them,
1066.
put all their pictures on the tree, and it's just your tree, and you put your family name at the top of it. So imagine 30 trees. Well, there's more than 30, but imagine 30 some trees where it's all these families. It's the only place in America where every veteran in your family serves at the same time by being on the tree and then traveling in the tribute and showing America what the true fabric of our nation looks like. It's just definitely different. It's different. And in the museum, when we put it in the conservatory, we'll have a conservatory, a part of it just for them. We're actually going to have like these little, I want to say little books that go with each tree that your family can add their own personal stories to it, things that you don't want to be forgotten that are going to end up thrown in the trash. A lot of people who are hoarding their pictures, I'm going to tell you what, they're going to go in the garbage. They're going to go in the art sale. They're going to go in the consignment shop. People are not, here's a good example. So we like to go to this little store called Reconsidered Goods in Greensboro. And this is the kind of stuff we find. Look at this.
Oh, yeah.
From Vietnam, right? Like, I'm a history buff, but this is golden. It cost me less than it did for this one's 35 cents, but like there's one about the Bay of Pigs. There's some about World War II, right? Like you can't put a price on history, right? And so when we go to VFW events or whatever, we'll take these kind of things and we'll find like the best article in here, frame it so that the people who want to read that actually will get to appreciate it, as opposed to it was in a store that some grandma probably passed away or something, and her kids are like, let's just drop this off. Right. So we have newspapers back from 1914 that I was lucky enough to be at the right place. 9/11, we have an amazing 9/11 tribute that has all these newspapers from September 11th. And so they're not just stories we found somewhere, it's the actual newspapers from that day. And we put them with the trees, and yeah, it makes a powerful statement. So last year, Andy, did you go to the North Carolina conference?
I did
in
in Asheville, North Carolina. Yeah.
No, just in North Carolina. I don't know what it's called, but it's in Greensboro.
The Midwinter Conference.
I guess. I think it was in
No, I didn't get to. No, I went to the Southern Conference Conference.
So this
convention.
is what happens with the trees. It ends up okay.
Bye, Val. Bye, Lexi.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.
Nice meeting you guys.
Nice
Go
meeting you,
go
DK.
Navy.
Go Navy. So last year we take the whole 20-year war trees to that conference, right? And as I'm setting up the Twin Towers trees, which have veterans who were lost on 9/11, and first responders, police officers, obviously, who were also veterans. I'm setting this all up. I haven't even put the pictures on the trees yet. And I see this man walk by and he says, you're making me think about Christmas. And I said, no, this isn't about Christmas. These are military trees. And I look at his shirt and I see that it has a New York Fire Department emblem on it. And I'm like, oh, shit. I don't want to trigger people, right? So I said, are you a firefighter? He said, yeah. I said, like 9/11? He's like, he just shakes his head like this. And I said, dude, I'm so sorry. I said, I'm just going to tell you ahead of time, because if you don't want me to put these up, I won't. But I said, you see those two silver trees? I said, those are the Twin Towers trees. And I'm about to put pictures of veterans who were lost on 9/11 on these trees. He goes, do you have the pictures? And I said, yeah. I take over the box, I open it up, and he is doing all he can not to bawl. He said, I know some of these people, or I knew some of these people. And here's this strange tree lady about to hang these people he knew, place their pictures on these trees. At that same conference, we have a tree obviously from Kabul, right? You can't do a military tribute and not have a tribute for the 13. But we did a story tree, like I was telling Andy about. There's a story tree. There's a guy named Jonathan. I apologize if I say his name wrong. I want to say Ebby. He's still serving. He's a gunnery sergeant. He allowed me to use pictures from Kabul, from the withdrawal from Kabul. And so his story is on this tree. Of one of the pictures has so many Purple Hearts, because it's so many of them even before they were taken. Some were left. So many of his group, of his unit, or well, 9 of the 13, I think, were his.
Damn.
So I have that tree beside the fallen 13, and this man, he walks up, and I feel bad. I cannot recall his name, but he walks up, and I hear him talking about the trees, and I'm just kind of listening. He's like, I just wish I knew who did this, who did these trees, and I'm like, it was me. And he said, you see that kid right there? I said, yeah, it's Dylan Marola. He said, that's my godson. And then he just starts bawling. So every time we do an event, that's what happens, right? It it links people together. That conference that you were at, that I met you at, Andy, same thing happened. This woman came up to me and talked about there was 4 that were lost in an Osprey accident.
Yeah.
Right? And I have them all together on the tree.
Yeah.
Yep. She comes up to me and she says, I am my neighbor, my friend is his grandma. And she said, when she realizes that you have done this, she is going to be overtaken. So that's why we do it. We don't.
Well, I love how you said it connects people, and that's what you're doing. That's what Fleek is doing. That's what I try to do. when people, I mean, I had like 13 calls today, like trying to connect people with VSOs and this and this. So we're all doing a little bit to help connect people to other people. And
Mhm.
it's hard, it's time consuming, but you know what? It's worth it.
Right.
And,
It is, but yeah.
meeting you was, I thought that was very cool. And it was amazing to meet you in Asheville, North Carolina. It was a great venue. Thank you to
Tim Woods.
thank you to Tim Woods and the VFW of North Carolina for hosting it.
Mhm.
2024 will be Tulsa, Oklahoma is in October of this year, and then it's Nashville, Tennessee next year for the Southern Conference. So we hope to see you hopefully either in Tulsa or definitely in Nashville.
Oh, I'd like to do both. Yeah.
I don't know. Hey, listen, I don't even know. Hey, I will find someone from Oklahoma. Um, I'm still waiting for an email from the Oklahoma chaplain, and they haven't sent me that. I've asked for it, and it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to come by that kind of information.
Well,
I'm the
you know,
Southern
like,
Con-
sorry, go
huh?
ahead.
I'm the Southern
Like,
Conference chaplain. And Oklahoma is one of my states. And I will be the Southern Conference chaplain probably for another month. I put in my resignation because I want to concentrate on my post in Tennessee. So I'm
mhm.
sorry guys.
Don't worry,
Well,
guys. All you gotta do is ask, and he'll say yes.
Not this time. Not this time.
we are very attached to the VFW though. Like they have done like what they have done for Lexi, like our local post 5352. What they have
Okay.
done for her is just, we just walked in there one day at Christmas. It was out during COVID, right? Wanting to get our pictures when our son was supposed to come home after deployment. He's supposed to come home for Christmas, and then it turned out he couldn't. Stupid COVID. And it turned out that I was like, well, I am not the only mom missing my child, I'm sure. So I can't let these pictures sit here, right? Because they weren't, we didn't have a lot of places to put them then. So we went around town in Kernersville and put them in all these different, we just went, and it was just Christmas, but different stores and things, and asked to put them, and everyone said yes that we asked. But the VFW was one of the places. I had never been in a VFW, and they were like, wow, we just put up our tree, this is great. And they embraced my child like in a way I cannot explain, because we're not from here, so we don't have aunties and cousins and grandmas and all. We don't have any family here, and they have taken that place. And they gave her, I mean, how many girls do you know when they're 12 want to have their birthday party at a VFW?
Not many.
She did, and they did. They threw a beautiful party. They named her the VFW Princess.
What?
Got her a
Nice.
giant banner,
Wow.
put her on their Christmas parade float. American Legion,
Wait.
same thing.
What VFW was this? Hold on.
Kernersville,
What,
VFW, Kernersville, post 5352.
5352?
They are just
Yeah, I'm gonna give the commander a nice call.
His
Commander,
name's
don't worry,
Josh.
it's gonna be a good
Josh
call.
Hunt. Josh Hunt.
Josh
Yep.
Hunt.
Although
Have
before
you been
that
to
was Todd Walt. Before that was Todd. So Todd actually was the one who did the birthday, and he actually they got her off. They took a flag, and all the members that were there signed the flag. Then they had it all folded and presented it to
Yep.
her.
Oh wow.
I mean,
that's cool. That's really
Yeah,
cool.
that's what it's all about right there.
the Faith
Yep.
American Legion, same thing. They only met her like a couple times. They were so smitten with her. They asked her to be their for 4th of July, their American Legion princess, and she got to ride on the little float. I mean, I need people to understand the hashtag still serving for the VFW, right? Service means many things, but just making someone feel important, it's a thing. And anybody who doesn't know that is a freaking idiot. Okay.
Yes.
Because it's a thing, especially when what? I'm trying to be nice.
Lynn's
Trying to be
gonna
nice.
Lynn is gonna love that.
What?
What you just said, the still serving means so many. It means
It
so much
does. It means
more.
so many things. And
No,
so
no, he's gonna love what you just said.
but my to add to that though, the fact that they continually, they ask her to be their princess, which she thought that was amazing, right? Then they asked the next year, and they did the birthday, but then the next year they did another birthday. Then they put her on they call her their girl. They say that she's their girl, right? And this is the thing, when you don't have family, right? And I'm a civilian, so I don't understand that whole family thing, right? They don't have to include me. We're not even a member of the post yet, right? But we're welcome in there, and we're welcome there anytime. She now, when we drive down the street and you say, she knows when you get to their street, she is squealing in the car when she knows you're about to turn into the post and go in there. Even though she doesn't talk, she has a computer on that she can talk with. She has a little sticker on her glasses. It's a mouse. And then she reads off of this. And it literally says, "When are you taking me to see my friends at the VFW?"
Oh,
Wow.
I
that
mean,
is.
she is like the VFW poster child. There's no other way to say it. And their kindness to her is just at the although I gotta say, South Carolina VFW, shoot. Ed told
Hey,
me that Ed told me,
wait.
he said,
Oh,
South
wait. Hold
Carolina.
on, hold on. You know Ed Stefanik,
I
right?
love Ed. And he
I
said,
do
South
too.
Carolina is gonna love
Ed,
your trees.
this is
And
for
oh
you,
my
baby.
gosh. Honestly, Ed was right. They did. Spartanburg. Oh my
Yep.
gosh. Oh my gosh.
Ed's a great
They
guy.
are
I like Ed. I was at the Southern Conference Convention in Hilton Head, South Carolina, the year before that,
mm,
before North Carolina, and I got to meet Ed for the first time. And he's a great department commander. He actually just won. He won some kind of a recruiting award for South Carolina.
yes, and now he works like he's in Kansas City.
I
Yes, he
wait.
moved.
He does. He
Yes,
works in Kansas
yes,
City now.
yes.
Really?
Yep.
Ed, we have to have
He
a
moved
talk.
up
I
in the
didn't know
world.
that. Why am I finding out from Lori that you're working in Kansas City? Ed, we have to have a talk. I mean, you
Well, you
need
put
to.
it on Facebook. Aren't you following him? No.
No, I mean, I have like 4,000 friends, Lori. I've got
True.
that's
I know.
and most
I'm
of the
just
time
messing with
I'm
you.
snoozing people for like 30 days because I don't want to see their shit. Sorry. And y'all know who I'm talking about.
Yes. So
I can
You
name a
know.
couple.
Nope. No names. Not today.
my point is, it's a big shout out to the VFW because that is what has really helped us to spread
And
our message.
we and you're talking to Richard Fleek. He was a past commander of posts in Dearborn, posts in
3 posts.
Murfreesboro, 3 posts.
Look
You're
me up.
talking to you're talking to a post commander, 2 years, a state chaplain, 3 years, going on 4. Hopefully, if I get elected this next time around. We love, the VFW. It changed my life. It's changed Fleek's life when he came home from serving. And Lori, to hear that and hear you say that, a lot of people, they need to hear that the VFW is changing lives because we need to
It
hear more of that.
is. It's not what people think. It's
I know.
not just a bunch of people sitting around a bar shooting
Thank
the
you.
shit.
Yep.
Smoking.
That's not what it is. But it's shooting the shit. That's not what it
It's
is.
so much more than
And
that.
you are really doing yourself a disservice by not at least going and visiting. Like ours has like a pancake breakfast. Like you have to at least go, right? You have to go in order to,
Hot chicken night.
like, they have all kinds of stuff. But I guess my thing is if you don't go, you won't know.
If you don't know, you don't know.
No, if you
If you
don't
don't
go,
go,
you won't know. If
yeah,
you don't go, you won't know, right? So,
exactly. Yes,
and I don't get
yes.
to go nearly as much as I want to go, right? I can't. But my
Well,
point is
hey,
that
Lori,
if you're a veteran, you
you're
should
coming to
be.
ours. You're coming to ours, and hopefully we have a vote coming up this month, actually in 14 days, and so hopefully we'll have plenty of room for your trees.
Oh,
I
that would be
mean,
great.
we'll have about 2,500 square feet for your trees, to say the least. And I think it would be good. I think it would be good, especially in Murfreesboro too. We are home to the bloodiest, biggest battle in Tennessee, Civil War, the Battle of Stones River.
Wow.
That was one of the biggest battles in Tennessee, and we have 7,100 graves at Stones River battlefield of the Confederate and a couple of Union guys are buried there. And it's just we get to take care of the headstones every 6 months. We get to, Fleet can vouch for me. We do a lot of stuff for community service.
Yes.
We still serve. Hashtag we still serve. And that's all we do. That's right.
I mean, yeah, it's not just a saying, it's true. But other places that veterans really need to go and I want to point this out because it's important that I want to say the whole Gulf War age group, like that's the last 32 years, even though some people don't realize that. It's from 1990 to August 26, 2021 is Gulf War era. If you don't believe me, the little civilian tree lady, go to your VA and ask them. Because I've just been schooled on it recently by Jesse Almanza, who has a Gulf War project, and he was explaining the whole thing to me, and now I'm educated. But these veteran events that these people are trying to put together, like Veterans Cup, let's say, right? It's a organization that does coffees, right?
Oh yeah.
That they need. You will find a home there. You literally, what just seems like, again, a bunch of people shooting the shit, there's more to it. And especially at those veteran coffees, there's a lot of resources that people sometimes don't realize they can hook you up with, right? That you might not even know.
Some good networking for sure.
It is. So
Lori, we have coffee with a veteran every Sunday at Joni's on the square in Murfreesboro, and it's a good way to connect. It's awesome.
Well, the one here, I think it's Vernon Robinson and Sandy Whitaker actually are the ones who run it. And there's a lot of them here, but that one in particular, Sandy is probably one of my biggest cheerleaders. Like, when I'm having a hard time, she is just totally rooting for me because she knows that there's, more than trees. And
I find it hard that you ever have a hard time.
I actually, I do, because a lot of people don't get it. They just don't get it. And that's discouraging to me.
Yeah.
It is, or people don't understand why would I need donations, right? Why would you need that? Because none of this is free, right?
No.
So
yeah, I mean, yes.
Are those your son's dog tags around your neck?
Yep.
It's very cool.
Yep. He gave them to me, and so I wear it every day. Yep. I don't see him much. He's in college, and
where's he at? What college?
York.
What? That doesn't make sense. Marines go to college?
Hey, I went to college before I joined the Marine Corps. Easy.
Yep. He went to York College. It's in Pennsylvania. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah.
I went to Rollins College in Florida.
He's on the dean's list. Yay, Josh.
What's his major?
He's actually sports media. I think he's
sports
a huge.
Media, okay.
I mean, I don't know if he'll stay with that.
Hey, I was a classical studies major. You know what? I was going to be a teacher or a priest, and I'm still waiting to hear if I'm going to be a priest or not. I don't think I can be. I don't think the teacher route. I tried it. Didn't really stick with me too much.
Well, if he wants to get into sports media, tell him to give me a call because I have a sports podcast on Sunday mornings. So we'd love to have him. We'd love to have him on to talk.
Right there,
I will, and he's amazing. I mean, he is an old soul who's literally, I mean, for as long as it's like you're talking to, Babe Ruth, right? There's not much he doesn't know about sports.
No, Ted Williams.
Right.
Yeah.
Way better.
Ted Williams.
Way better.
So, hey, Lori, so what I do with the funds that come in through my podcast and soon to be my cookbook is we send veterans and first responders to sporting events.
I know you do.
So that's pretty awesome, man. We would love to talk to your son.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I will definitely hook you up
That'd
with
be.
him.
What was his MOS when he was in?
AAV.
He's Yas. You ain't
Yes.
shit. You ain't tank. Yeah.
Full
Yeah.
Yeah.
send.
You ain't
Yeah.
tracks. You ain't shit.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. I've ridden in one AAV in my life, and that was in 2005, and it was on land. I never went in the water. We were Helo Squad on the 22nd MEU, and I just was like, how can a metal thing that's like that big go in the water and float?
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
Yeah,
that's a dangerous job, and I'm glad he's still with us.
Yeah,
I feel
me too.
I
Yeah,
feel
me
I
too.
feel horrible about the families that had to go through that. But it's they signed up for it, and
Oh man, don't get me going down. Don't
I
send
know,
me down that rabbit hole.
I know.
Shoot, no, don't go. Don't send me down that rabbit hole. You don't want to go there. They didn't
But
sign
you
up
know
for
what?
that shit. No.
we were in Fallujah in 2005, and this AAV gets stuck. So we try to get it out with a Humvee. The Humvee gets stuck, and the AAV stuck.
Wow.
Then they pull out a tank to pull out the Humvee and the AAV. They all get stuck, all of them, all three of these vehicles. They bring that super huge tanker that's like moving everything, and it finally gets them all out. It was just like a tragedy of errors in 2005, and
And
we
to
were
be
like,
honestly, that seems like that's what those training accidents. That's what
yeah.
happened. It's like the perfect storm. If you talk, like you can imagine how many
Oh,
parents I've talked to of training accidents, right?
But we weren't training. We were in the middle of Fallujah.
Oh well, yeah, well that was
we were
different.
in Iraq.
Yeah.
We were like getting shot at and mortared and this, and we're like, holy shit, we need to get this shit out of here right now. And I mean, I even had the battalion commander, some lieutenant colonel. He's like, get this shit. I'm like, sir, I can't do anything. I don't have a rig. I'm a machine gunner. What do you want me to do? I actually asked him that. He didn't like that too much.
I read this book called House to House by
Who?
Bellavia. I think it's David Bellavia.
Oh yeah.
House to House.
Yeah.
Great freaking book. But he talks about that was quite eye opening for me. Like he's a Medal of Honor winner.
Yeah.
And someday I'm going to get to talk to him, but I have the book is totally inked up with all these questions I have where, of things like what you're talking about, that I'm like, why does this, and why did this happen? And why did things that,
or you need, I'm not going to, this is just a suggestion, but if you get to read either Lion of Marja or Echo in Ramadi.
Okay.
I know the author of Echo in Ramadi, Scott Husing. He's in charge of Save the Brave, another nonprofit out in California. Great book. You would really appreciate his writing. He's really good.
Well,
or like Jeff Savins.
We love taking the book and then taking, like, he doesn't know I did this, but I researched the names that he dropped. Like, some people don't drop names in their books, right? They just use initials. He actually said names, right? So I went, researched them, found pictures. Right. Well, I looked for pictures I was allowed to have, right? And then got them and made a tree. He doesn't know I have it. I have a tree that tells his,
that
story.
Is really cool. Gosh.
So other authors say I'd like to do that for
this
them.
Is dude, Fleek, this was a great interview today, man.
Yeah.
Laura, you're doing some great things.
You said 20 minutes, and here we are almost an hour and 10.
That's why when you were like 20 minutes, that's why I was like, people don't realize how much more there is to the project. They just don't. And
Laura, you got 100% support from my from our VFW. Anything you need, just let us know.
Well, I appreciated you letting me do this because, I would again be remiss if I did not just mention this group called Angels with Demons that we partnered with, and her focus is completely on the 22 a day. And we actually made a whole window of again white trees. It's like 3 trees, and we just put 22 of the wooden plaques on the trees with no faces, and then just number them 1 to 22. And then one day we took one tree of all the pictures, the mementos off, and put 7 faces. And then another day we took another tree, put on 7 faces. So that people understand with, a sign that explained all of it. But it's when people take their life, even though they may still have come home from war, they didn't lose their life here. They lost it in the last war or the last place they served.
Yes.
The incident may have happened here, but the damage was done there. And
True.
I don't want them forgotten about either.
It's a permanent solution to a temporary situation,
Mm-hmm.
That's why we do what we do.
And I think it's great, and I appreciate that so much that you guys, invited me on here to do this. And that's why you said 20 minutes. I'm like,
Hey,
because people don't realize how much we're actually doing.
Lord, you crushed it, and
Yeah, you did great.
it's still daylight over there in North Carolina. That's awesome.
And by the way, every time that the wind blows, your flag right behind your head goes straight out. It was a pretty cool
It
backdrop.
did.
Yeah.
Oh,
Pretty
that's
cool,
awesome.
yeah.
My husband put that out there for me. Well, I'm sorry, I lied. It was Father's Day last year, and he put it out there for Lexi.
You have a huge backyard. I love it. Look at the size of that backyard. Holy crap.
So, but I mean, Father's Day is supposed to be for you, right? So he
Right.
went out there and put up a flag for her.
Yeah. But Lori, thank you,
So,
and I'll get you
Yes.
those names and numbers.
yeah, and those books. Text me those books.
Yeah, and definitely follow through with the state of Tennessee. Hopefully
Yes.
in the next 3 years, I'll be pretty close to being state commander of Tennessee. And then,
Okay.
oh my God, all kinds of hell is going to happen.
One of the
kidding.
guys that he mentioned on the books, Jeff Sabins, he's the one that is helping me publish my book, my cookbook. So he's been a great help.
Jeff,
Nice.
Jeff and I served together. We both got Purple Hearts pretty much, I think, the same day.
Wow.
He wrote the what's it called, Fleek? The American Infidel. Is that right?
No, it's
The American Terrorist.
yeah, the American Terrorist. It's on my
that's a great book.
right there.
I'll send you the whole list.
Send me a
Don't worry
list.
about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Because
Ryan Rogers, Lionel Marja, Scott Husing, Echo and Ramadi, and then the
all of
American
them.
Terrorist.
So you got to picture this. You got to picture this, right? This conservatory can tell your stories.
Yeah.
When you were up in a helicopter and you look down, it's going to look like a giant Christmas tree, right?
Okay.
Not like a triangle, but like big glass bridged out. And each one of those conservatories is a different branch, a different war. But one of them's like a book, a library with your stories in it. Even your
Lori.
cookbook, Fleet.
Yes. Here's the thing. I'm gonna put it out there for you. Wait a second. Wait, let me say this first.
Wait, hold on. No.
Wait,
go
no,
ahead.
wait,
I got the idea. I got it.
I got it. I want to make a tree of the veterans you have. Yes. Is that what you were gonna say?
That's a great idea. What
I was just thinking that.
I'm going to take it a step further.
Oh, shit.
I was just going to invite you to have a page in my next cookbook titled The Farr Brothers. And we'll put some of your trees and some of your photos in that book. And we'll give you a page to put a quote in the book.
Dude, I have fabulous quotes. I'm not going to lie. They're badass.
No, I love that, Fleek. I love that idea. Lori, you and I, we're on the same page. You need to come to Murfreesboro so we can have a tree of all 301 members that we have and make a tree.
Wow.
Maybe make 6 trees. I don't know. That's a lot of trees.
We have them.
And I'm friends with most of them. I'm friends with like 246 of them. So
all right,
we're
start collecting
dig
those
for
pictures.
15 of them.
Start collecting your pictures.
I'll try.
Which one of you is in charge of the pictures for this?
I have everything for this.
That's Fleek. That's Fleek, right for the cookbook. Or is it me?
For the
for your podcast. For your podcast.
Yeah, I have all that.
And one for your book too. That would be great.
He's an IT guy. He knows how to do that stuff. And Lori, he can actually teach you the art of ITing and the art of the Facebook and Instagram and all that.
No, I have all that. I just don't have the time. That's the problem.
Well, you need to make time because this is important.
All right, stick around. I'm going to close this up, but stick around for a second, Lori. I'll give you
Okay.
some quick tips
Ah.
real quick. All right, thanks everybody for
Thank
tuning
you.
in. Thanks
Thank
for
you so
jumping on,
much.
Lori. Give Lexi a big kiss for us, and God bless
I will.
America.
Love you
Thank
guys.
you.
Bye, Lori. Bye,
Thank
Fleet.
you. Bye.